Hi, welcome to Doodle Club. One of the drawing prompts in the Korp Academy this month is to draw from your favourite prompt cards. And my favourite prompt cards are the ones that you get with the How to Doodle pack. So if you haven't got it already, I'll put a link below so you can find it. But yeah, let's go and use them. But I also figured that because they are my favourite prompt cards, they are also what I call the usual suspects. So I thought what I'd do is I'd try and draw this piece based on the film The Usual Suspects, you know, the poster where they've got all the mug shots, all the characters standing in a row. So we're going to see if we can do that with our prompt cards. Okay, so these are the materials you're going to need today. The prompt cards, go and pick up the prompt cards. Like I said, there's a link down below to pick them up if you haven't already got them. Cut them out, turn them over, shuffle them up so we don't know what we're going to get. You will also need a ruler for today's session. I'm going to use a ruler. I mean, if you want to, you can just kind of do it with some pencil lines and just, you know, practice on getting it right just with your pencil lines. But yeah, I'm going to use a ruler just to make sure I get those pencil lines just right. Those straight lines just right. Talking of pencils, you will need a pencil just to throw in those pencil lines to start off with. Some of the characters, you might need a pencil line for those as well. So have a pencil handy. And then my usual setup of pens, a fat, a medium and a thin. What I'm using at the moment is our Sakura Pigma pen. So my fat Sakura Pigma is a graphic one, and then my medium pen is a Micron 0.5, and then my thin pen is a Micron 0.1. So but any kind of like really fat, medium and thin combo will work well. The medium we're going to use for all our outlining, fat maybe for a bit of colouring in, thin for a few little details afterwards. Right, hopefully that will make sense. Let's go and start our piece, shall we? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put those lines across the back, because what I want these characters to not really kind of, they need to either overlap one of the lines at the back or miss it completely. I don't want the character to kind of end up just on top of the line. It'll kind of mess it all up a little bit. So let's go and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 10 lines, or 10 marks. So I'm starting from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should probably point out as well, shouldn't I, that I'm using an Art Deco classy sketchbook. A5, landscape orientation as well. Let me get a little bit closer. So yeah, you can see what I've done there is I've taken 10 centimeters and just done a little mark every centimeter. Let's do something similar over on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Also, yeah, I forgot about this bit. Just put a little line at the bottom. Because I want my characters just to come out from the ground this time. Normally I'd have them coming out from a bubble or clouds or from behind a banner, but we're going to have them coming out from the ground this time. Okay, let's go and put those lines in. So nice and gentle with your lines. You don't want to make them too dark at this stage. We will go over them with ink a little bit later. And when I go over them later with ink, I'm going to freehand them. I'm not going to use the ruler. Because I think what I'll get from that is a much more organic look. I'm not really after that precision, but obviously you guys, if you want to go for that precision, it will kind of look really cool in the background to have like these wonky characters in the foreground and then those real straight lines in the background. So you go for that. If that's what works for you, then you do that. But for me, I like a wonky line, so that's what I'm going to use. And if you haven't even got a ruler for this bit, just use anything you've got that's straight will do, or just freestyle it, just freehand it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to have some wonky lines. It's not the end of the world. There we go. So we've got our lines on. Let's go and start drawing our characters in. So if you remember, there's 5 characters in the main film, so we're going to do 5 characters. So we'll start with the one in the middle, then do 2 either side so we get it nice and symmetrical. We always start with a body card, so we'll put a body card down. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, about there. Then you can see all the cards. So yeah, I always start off with a body card. Then I turn over a face card, put a face card in, and then we've also, with the How to Doodle pack, you get these filler cards as well. So it gives you a bit of an idea on what to put inside the character as well, okay? So here we go. We've got a body card. First body card is going to be foot face. So we'll draw our foot face character right in the middle. So I'm going to use my medium pen, which is a 0.5. And let's go and draw this character. First thing we'll do, let's go and put in that line across the bottom. So I mean, it can be wonky. Double line it, that'll be fine. Where's the middle? Middle's about there, so we're going to go and put foot face in. You shouldn't need a pencil line for foot face. It's just one big line up, a couple of bounces across, then one big line down. Okay, so let's go and put in foot face. Foot face is going to be the tallest of the characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bring it down again. Tallest of the characters up there. So let's go and double line that. Oh yeah, and you can see what I've done at the top, yeah? So what I really didn't want to do is I didn't want to have the tip of the toes touching a line. They're halfway between two lines. That's going to help your artwork just look a little bit better, a little bit tidier. Let's double line it, make it nice and wonky. All the way down the other side. Any bits where you've got a little bit of white showing in between the lines, just go and colour that in. Strong intersections, so that means down here at the bottom we can go quite a bit thicker. Maybe not quite as thick as what I've just done there, but you know, let's do it. Let's go super thick. What's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah, nice and thick down the bottom. That's where the intersections are. Just makes it look a bit more grounded, a bit more kind of like it belongs there. Okay, so there's foot face. What else we've got to do? We've got to put those little toes on the inside. Now you can see, using the prompt card, you can see that's a different size pen on the inside. So I am going to go down a pen size to my 0.1. I'm going to go and put those little toenails in with my 0.1. They're just little D shapes. Try to randomize them, you know, don't keep them too uniform. When I say randomize them, you can see like just the bottom line is just different in all those different places on each different toe. Okay, that's foot face, the body of foot face in. Let's go and see what face we've got for foot face. And so for foot face, we've got a big old smile, loads and loads of eyes. So this is quite a cool one to put in. So I'd always start with the mouth first and then just throw in as many eyes above as you can. Okay, so let's put that just there. I'm going to go back to my 0.5 for this one. Similar thickness to what I've done with the outside lines. But if your character's small, then use your thinner pen. I usually like the fatter pen for the border and then the thinner pen for anything inside. Let's go and put a face in. So start off with that mouth. Big D shape for the mouth. We'll double line it. We're going to put those teeth in, a little bouncy line that doesn't touch. See, each individual tooth doesn't touch that top line. You're just kind of bouncing before you get to that black line. And then for the tongue, just two lines across, one from over here. Flick in the middle, go back on yourself, another flick all the way across. Let's colour the back of the mouth in black. Lovely. That looks good. And then above that, my technique, just throw in some main eyes. Maybe the first eye in the middle, nice and big, and then just throw in loads of other eyes that you can get into the spaces. So let's go and put in that first eye, and then just around the edge, let's just throw in some random shaped eyes, some big, some small. Squeeze in as many as you can. You don't have to go for the same amount as me. You can put in as many or as few as you want. Now this character is looking over to the right, so let's keep it looking over to the right. I kind of like that. We'll have something going on over there, hopefully. Sometimes you can just leave the pupils until right at the end, because you might want to have your pupils looking at something in particular. Alternatively, you could just stick them in now. But just be aware that that character's looking over here, so you're going to have to draw something over here. Otherwise, people who look at your artwork, see that it's going off the page, they're going to lose interest in your artwork. That's my theory. Let's go and grab a filler card for this one. So your filler card is just a bunch of lines. For the filler card, I'm going to use my thinner pen. So just go and grab that 0.1 or that 0101 Sakura Pigment Micron 01. And we're just going to put these little tiny lines in. So I'll probably take it from about here. And we're just going to work our way across this body, putting in these little lines. They don't all have to start at exactly the same point. You can go a little bit higher, you can go a little bit lower. Doesn't matter if some of these lines touch each other. For the time being, it's just throw them in, see what happens. This is great for practicing your line work, because you're trying to keep them so that they're not touching. Doesn't matter if they do, but you're trying to keep them so that they're not touching. So each line is about 1 millimeter away from the previous line. And then when you get over to this side, just be mindful about where you've got to squeeze these lines in. So I can now squeeze 2 more in, I think. And I think that looks okay. Now we're only going to bother with, we are going to come back to these characters. We're only going to bother with like doing the primary lines to start off with, and we'll come back and we'll do some like finishing touches later. But we don't know which characters are going to need finishing touches at this stage, so it's best to just plough on and carry on with your characters, okay? Awesome, right, that's one character down. Let's go and do our next one. So we'll put foot face to the back, and we'll take our next one, which is a sausage. Again, we don't need a pencil for this one, so go and grab your 0.5, your medium pen. Let's go and put a sausage in. Whereabouts this one going to live? So we're going to go either side of our characters now. We've got to put 2 in this side, 2 in this side. So I'm going to put one right on the edge here. And this one's going to be the shortest one. Just there. So we start off with that sausage shape, double line it, nice wonky, thick where it joins that base, colour in the gaps in between the lines if you've got any. And it's got 2 little hands that are done with a fat pen, then it's got a belly that's done with a thin pen. So let's go and put those 2 little hands in first. It's a double-ended flick off, fat and wonky underneath. Try and flick it off either end so that you're getting a tapered finish as much as possible. And then thin pen for the little details down the bottom here, which is that curve for a belly. You can double line that as well. Nice, easy character to go in there. Let's see what face we've got for this character. So we've done our multi-eye. Let's see what's next. Some sort of like spaced out rabbit thing. So I'm going to use, same as before, I'm going to use my pen that I did for the outlining so it's consistent with that face. I'm going to go and put this one in. So we've got those great big eyes first. So let's go and put that. And the eyes, you can see, to make it look spaced out, the pupils are right in the centre. If you want to make it look a little bit more normal, just bring those pupils in towards the middle of the head a little bit. But right in the centre just makes it look like the character's looking through you. Put some eyebrows on, little tiny double-ended flick-offs. Do what you can. Little triangle for a nose, that's nice and easy. And then a couple of fish hooks. It's one fish hook. Another fish hook going into the centre of that nose. finish off with a couple of teeth. There's character number 2. See what texture we've got to have for this one. So we'll put the lines over there. We've got the next texture is these. We're going to flick the V's. The V's are good for making things look furry. So if you get a Yeti character or something you want to make it look hairy, then these V's are good for big clumps of fur. However, we have got the sausage character. We're just going to draw this fur in anyway. So my suggestion, get that real thin pen and let's go and flick in a few little V's. Just put a couple together, look. Put some small ones in there, some big ones. There you go. Let's put one on the head as well. A couple of little V's on the head. Let's keep it going. Let's go and do our next character. So we've done foot face, we've done the sausage. Next character is the bear. Nice easy one to draw, this one. Again with the your 0.5, your medium pen. Let's go and do it right over on this side. And we're going to draw that bear in. So let's put in the bear round about there. It's a bit wonky. It's a bit wonky because I was straddling this spiral binding, but I'm okay with that. That doesn't matter too much to me. Let's double line it. Just getting a little bit thicker as you get down the bottom here. Colour in the lines. Got those big ears. Now you see the outer ear is with a fat pen, the belly is with a fat pen, then the inner ear is with the thin pen. So let's go and do it that way around. Let's go and put outer ears. And then let's go and put belly. Lovely, grab your thin pen. Just got to put these inner ears in with a thin pen. Even though you're using a thinner pen, you can still double line it. Make all your lines wonky. It's going to make you enjoy your drawing a little bit more if you're going after wonky lines rather than smooth lines. They're a bit more fun to draw, much more easier to achieve. Still look pretty good as well. Right, let's get rid of that face. Next face is we've got a little bird face. That's quite a good one for over on the bear body. And for this one, yeah, 2 circles for the eyes, two little flick offs underneath. And then for the mouth, it's a capital D, big capital D, up underneath, small capital D. And my suggestion is you do the bottom one, you do the bottom D, put it in the middle, then you do the top D a little bit bigger, and you put it one side or the other, depending on which side you want the character to be looking. So we might just switch that over and have our character looking this way into the picture. Okay. So this is your 0.5, the main pen that you've been using for all the other faces. Let's go and use that one again. Let's go and put those eyes in first. Couple of white eyes spaced out. Couple of little flicks underneath for the bags underneath there. And then that D right in the middle. Look at how that looks like quite a smiley, happy face. A little bit spaced out, but a smiley, happy face because of what we've got with that D. But then let's go and put the D on the top to turn it into a beak. And you see how it's not smiling anymore. Now it looks a little bit more sad. Just small lines can change the emotions of these characters quite a lot. Okay, that character was nice and easy. We've done the fur. Let's see what filler this one's going to have. It's going to have some bubbles on it. So we'll use our thin pen. We'll draw some bubbles, but then we'll put in these little reflections all over the place as well, okay? So thin pen, your 0.1. Let's go and throw in some bubbles with reflections. There we go. Did some big ones, did some small ones. Just throw them in anywhere. Character 3 done. We've just got 2 more characters to put in, which will be nice and easy. So let's go and do those. Next one is, let's get rid of bear. Next one is our zombie, which is a really nice, easy one to draw, and actually will work really well in here. Because zombie's facing that way, I think I'm going to put him there. I don't suppose it matters too much where you put him, but that's where I'm going to put him. Let's go and draw a zombie in. So the only thing to remember with zombies, you need to leave a little bit of space on the right hand side for that arm that's poking out as well. So let's go and put zombie in there. Just leaving a little tiny bit of space, double line it. Those arms in as well. So the arms we're going to put in, let's put them in just here. Look. And let's put in the other arm just there. A little bit shorter than what is in the prompt card, but it still kind of works. I like that. This is probably one of those where actually penciling in all your line or all your ideas first might give you the opportunity to overlap and underlap things a little bit. I like going straight in with pen because it gets me moving quicker, but that doesn't mean you can't every now and then just try and use a pencil just to plan out your artwork a little bit more. So for example, with that one, if I was using a pencil, I might have just brought it over a little bit more and had this arm just in front of this body, so it was a little bit of an underlap there. How much difference that would have made, I'm not sure, but it's just something to consider when you're drawing. Okay, so we've done our bird face. What have we got next? We've got zombie eyes again. Come up quite a couple of times now. Zombie eyes. Everything's a little bit spaced out. So in with your 0-5 now, because the character's facing that way. I'm going to do the face over that way a little bit as well. So we'll put one eye over here, look, and then one eye right in the middle. And you see how it just looks like the character now is definitely facing that way. Got those little eyebrows, so little flicks across the top, and then we've got that sausage mouth going all the way across with a little line in as well. Easy. So that's body and face done. Let's go and see what filler we've got. So we've used our bubbles. Filler for this one is stubble. Now for the stubble, I'm going to use my my 0-5 because it's a slightly fatter pen, and it will just make it a lot easier to get lots done. Now, whenever this is kind of like a stippling effect. Whenever I'm doing stippling, I tend to just go in a circular motion, do loads and loads of dots in a circular motion like this. So as much as you might get a bit of a pattern kind of appearing at first, eventually, if you just keep on going over it, you'll stop losing that pattern a bit. So this is what I would do just to get all the main bulk of the spots in, or the stippling, whatever you want to call it. Just going around in a circle, in a like a swirl. Doesn't matter if you get like all 2 dots close to each other, that's quite good actually. What you don't want is all your dots to be perfectly placed, because then it will tend to look like a bit of a pattern and look a lot less natural. Let's just do a little tiny bit up on the head there. Back into our swirls. And then once you've done enough, that's when you can kind of be a bit more strategic about it. Just have a little look and see where your patches are that are plain. Go and put in a few spots. Still working in that circular motion. Definitely have loads of spots right close to the edge as well. Touching the edge. I think that always looks good when you have them touching the edge. Don't forget that little arm there as well. Let's put some in there. and then just double up. Let's go a little bit stronger down the bottom here, a bit more strategy involved in this bit. Just going to make it a little bit more dense with these spots down the bottom. So I'm definitely hitting the white spots now, the white areas a little bit more. Not thinking about it too much because I don't want to hit them too perfectly. Just want to stab it in. Sometimes it's going to go straight on top of a black line. I'd say like 90% of the time it's going into a white area. There we go, just to make it a little bit more dense with the spots down the bottom, so it looks like it's proper shading, proper stippling, like a real artist. There you go, you can see how it's just a little bit thicker down there. You could go crazy on that, you could keep on going until you've got like hardly any white showing through. That always looks really nice, but I'm going to leave it just there because you know me, I'm all about the speed, getting things done nice and quick. Last character then, so let's park zombie. Last one is a beauty, it's a little Gurkasaur. Really pleased to have Gurkasaur in there, so let's go and put Gurkasaur in. So with your 0.5, again with Gurkasaur put the sausage in, but just remember you're going to have to leave a little bit of space for the spines across the back there, so I'm going to put Gurkasaur in just about here. Oh, double lining is all over the place there, but that's okay. Look how wonky that line is just there. That's good. Put those little plates in across the back. So we're going to flick off across from there. Sorry, not flick off. We're going to start there. We're going to do a bouncy line going down the back. Now, in fact, what I will do here is I'm going to have this bouncy line getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to eventually go behind foot face. So this is one way you can probably pencil it in. So look, just pencil in small bounces first, and then we're getting these big bounces in like that. So pencil it in so you know roughly where these lines are going to go, and then back onto your 0.5, and let's put these little plates back in. You see how we can just make it disappear behind the other character, but with a bit of confidence knowing that them two lines do join up. If you had to do it without a pencil line, you could still do it, but it is a little bit trickier just to get it just right. Now you can see that Gurkasaur does technically have some little bits of texture already on, but we're going to use our filler card a little bit later to add the texture on, so we'll wait on that. But what we will do is flick the V's inside the plates, just in the center. Look, just flick a little V shape. That'll do. Let's see what face we get for this one. Done that face card. Nice, happy looking face for this one. So go and grab your 0.5 again. Let's go and throw this face in. Character's looking that way, so we'll have to put the face over that side. But we've got these standard kawaii style eyes for the first time today. One big circle, a little circle inside with a reflection. Colour the rest in black. Like that. Couple of, big D shape for the mouth. It's fallen on its front. Makes it nice and smiley. Big set of teeth across the top and a big curve for the tongue. Colour the back of the mouth in black. Finish off with the bottom lip. And we've got some little cheekbones, look. Little quote marks for cheekbones. Let's wrap this up with our final bit of texture, which is going to be some scales. So these are W's and U's. Yeah, you see the real nice soft W and then a nice soft U underneath, and then just do some random U's. This is good for scales, for fish, for sea monsters, that kind of stuff. Going to use my 0.1 for this. And let's go and put these in. So just W's, U, W, U. Let's put one close. W, U, and put one down there. And then just throw in a few regular U shapes. There you go. You don't have to think about it too much, just nice and easy. Awesome. Right, there's our usual suspects. So let's now go and put in the lines across the back. Now my suggestion is we're going to use the very fat pen and the very thin pen for this one, just to make the difference between the lines. So I'm going to start off with my fat pen, and I'm going to put the that line in, the very bottom line with my fat pen, miss a line, and then put it in again with the fat pen, okay? And that's what we're going to do until we get to the top. So let's go off the page there. Look. Just be careful, make sure you're definitely going behind your characters. Miss a line, and then go and put the next line up. Miss a line, put the next one in. A lot of wonkiness in here, which I don't mind. You know me, I like to go wonky. But if you want to bust out a ruler at this stage, then nobody's judging. The reality is you're only going to get better at drawing smooth lines if you carry on practicing your wonky lines. Drawing fast, getting these wonky lines in nice and fast is going to help you loads with getting those smooth lines in. So we've done that with a fat pen. Let's go back in with a real thin pen. Let's start over here. Just working our way across. Work your way back. Work your way back. A big long line here. Resting my whole hand on the page here. Trying to hold my hand really steady and move my arm in order to get that line relatively straight. Beautiful. Let's put some finishing touches. So in there we want to make it so that we know how tall these characters are. So let's start with my fat pen. I'm just going to put a 3 foot nothing. And this is where you can kind of make your characters feel like they're much taller or much smaller than what they actually are. So it's totally up to you. 3 foot 0, 3 foot 6 is the next one. And then we're into 4. We're going to do this weird 4. 4 foot 6. 5. 5 foot 6. You get where this is going. You can see how we're doing this, yeah. 6. 6 foot 6. Let's get on to 7. Last thing to do, let's just have a little scan over our artwork. Is there anything else that we need to do to make these, to finish off these characters a little bit more? So yeah, just go and have a little bit of fun with them. I'd definitely grab my 0.1, and what I would be doing is going over these, thinking, right, what needs a little bit of something in there? So look at that nose. That nose, just going to hash out that nose, make it a little bit darker. These lips as well. I want these lips to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to hash those out. Over here, let's go and hash out the toenails. Just little tiny lines, just to make them a little bit darker. Let's do the tongue as well. Moving across, let's do the tongue on this one. And then over here we've got the inner ears. Let's do the inner ears. Quite a lot on this one actually. I think I'll do the inner ears, the eyes, beak and belly. So inner ears, eyes, the bare beak, and then finish off with the belly. Look how wobbly my lines are. They are all over the place. They're all over the place because I'm kind of just trying to maneuver around the spiral binding. For you, what you want to do is just move your sketchbook around until it's a more comfortable position. Lovely. Right, let's finish off. So I'm just going to throw in some little spots around the place, just little ink splats. And of course, wouldn't be a Korp Academy piece without a little fly in there somewhere. So stick a couple of little flies in. And that's it. We're done. So there they are. My prompt cards, my usual suspects piece, tribute piece I should call it, with some of my favourite prompt card characters. I guess the only thing I would suggest to you if you wanted to take this next level would be to put the shadows behind the characters, so in the actual film poster, some big shadows behind there. So maybe getting like a light grey alcohol marker, see how that looks. Totally up to you though, what you do with it. But there it is. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to post your version in the community space, and I'll see you in the next video.